he had to make his point. He had to make his point. When she looked back, wishing and hoping that this wicked place, Sodom and Gomorrah, would be saved so that they could continue doing wickedness, she wanted to go back to that. And guess what? A lot of our people feel the same way. Imagine if America was destroyed. Imagine if America went down. How many black people who was brought over here on ships, raped, robbed, and murdered, and forced to work on plantations from sun up to sundown? How many of us would hate to see America go right now? He had to make his point. He had to make his point. When she looked back, wishing and hoping that this wicked place, Sodom and Gomorrah, would be saved so that they could continue doing wickedness, she wanted to go back to that. And guess what? A lot of our people feel the same way. Imagine if America was destroyed. Imagine if America went down. How many black people who was brought over here on ships, raped, robbed, and murdered, and forced to work on plantations from sun up to sundown? How many of us would hate to see America go right now? It's a whole bunch of them. That's that 80-90%. That's that 80-90% that I'm talking about.
You remember what Malcolm X said when them dudes said, Master, our house is burning down?
That's right, our house. Because that's how they look at it.
So when the hell did this become our house?
When the hell did this become our house?
That's how ingrained you are with these nuts, thinking they got you in this.
Say it again.
This is our house.
The brother said that's how they ingrained, that's how ingrained they are with these nuts.
They are nuts.
They're nuts.
What do you think? They're the real aliens.
Absolutely.
They are not human.
Hey, they can't be. You would think the way that they operate, they can't be real.
They're aliens. That's why they had to throw it up on somebody. Anytime most people hear that word, like when they hear alien, they think of a Spanish person. They're ingrained in people's minds so much that that's all that pops up.
That's right.
You don't think about a black person when they say alien. Because we're not alien. You don't think of a white person. You think of a Mexican. That's how deep they.
You know why? Because we actually give an ear to hear them. That's what we read in right here in Hosea. We're destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because when we hear true, fruitful knowledge that's actually going to nourish your spirit and your soul, that's going to be beneficial for you, for your mental health and even your physical health, we reject it and we go give our ear unto things that's going to destroy us. And that's why the Lord says we're destroyed for that lack of knowledge.
Sitting in a white church. We go past this collector play around this the third time. We ain't
Third time.
We ain't gonna ask no more.
Because we don't feel like y'all reached deep enough the first two times.
My thing is about church with you. I'm not with you.
That's right.
I know how to read. Most people know how to read.
Right.
Why would you go sit in a church with some dude up there like, okay, I'm going to read this to you, and you can read yourself, but they asking you for money.
You know what that goes back to? That goes back to the original Catholic Church, which is what caused a white man by the name of Martin Luther to even go and translate the text that they had that was only available in the cathedral, right? And in the pews, that was the only place they had access to go and read the scripts. But guess what? It was written in Latin, Hebrew, and Greek. None of the people spoke Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, right? So Martin Luther says, you know what, I'm going to translate it and I'm going to mass produce it to get it to people in their homes so that they can read it for themselves. You think they read it? No. And those who did read it, those who did turn around and read it, they then butchered the understanding of what it was talking about. Not to mention the man Martin Luther that translated into the Greek language, he butchered it. But again, it was never his book in the first place. He was just only utilizing it. And every Christian denomination to this day derives from that man. So when you say that, you read. Most people know how to read. So why don't you read it for yourself instead of going and paying somebody else to read it for you, for them to tell you whatever it is that they want? Because we destroy for a lack of knowledge. Why? Because we reject knowledge. Get that in Isaiah 34:16. Read.
See,
Book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord.
And what?
And read.
And what?
And read.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. This is what the Lord has been telling us for the longest. But we don't want to read because we lazy and we really don't want that knowledge. You want to know why? Because when you know better, you then are forced to do better.
Right.
And our people the scripture says our people have made a covenant with death, and with hell we are at agreement. We don't want nothing more for ourselves. We don't want to do better. We don't mind being in the mud. We are A-OK with being a second class, we didn't even go say second class citizen. We are A-OK with not even being considered a human being at all.
Part of one anyway.
Well, they say we're not fully.
1/3.
3/5. They say we're not even fully a human being. We don't mind. We don't mind following and riding the coattail of success of Massa. That's why you brought it up. Oh, Massa, we getting a new house. No, Massa getting a new house. You finna go out here and you finna go in that shack, or you finna go and work this plantation and make sure Massa keep this
When
house.
I come down there and have sex with your wife and you're in the same room.
Right next to you. And dare you to say something.
You bet not say nothing.
You better not even look.
And he comes, he hears again. He's turning my head.
Go, and let me go find something to do. Turning a blind eye.
The only one room. It wasn't no room. There was one room.
That's right.
I'm gonna go in the bathroom and the living room and the kitchen.
That's it on that. Go back to Hosea 4. Bring it out.
Hosea chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee.
So when we started to reject the knowledge of God, the Lord started to reject us. Again, now we ended up in all of these captivities. We ended up in all of these different slaveries. But he still had love and mercy for us. Why? Because he had declared that from the beginning. When he brought us out of Egypt and made a covenant with us, he promised that he was going to love us. And we always had a special place in his heart, right? Or he had always had a special place in his heart for us, right? Give me that in, what I have you holding? Jeremiah 17, you could drop that. Give me Deuteronomy 30. 4:22. Bring it out.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children, they have no understanding.
They are sottish children and foolish. They have no understanding. Sottish means stupid. S-O-D-D-I-S-H. T-T, excuse me, T-T-I-S-H. Sottish. S-O-T-T-I-S-H. Right? And it literally means stupid. The Lord is calling us stupid because we have everything before us. All the payment that he requires is that we worship him and him only with our heart and our soul. And the way that we worship him is to do what? It's to do right by yourself and to do right by your brother.